Good morning and welcome to Everyday Life. My name is Idris Matu, and today we are talking about drug shops and pharmacies. Now, some 2 weeks back, National Drug Authority announced that they were phasing out drug shops from Kampala. Have a look at this story.
The National Drug Authority has issued tough guidelines on drug shops currently operating in Kampala. Starting next year, 2019, the authority will not renew licenses to drug shops apart from those willing to relocate them outside Kampala.
We are giving them a 1-year grace period as is provided again under the law. So we are taking this 1 year to be 2018, during which we shall sensitize drug shop operators and we shall encourage them to move out into the peripheral areas. But in 2019, in this particular area, which is already well served with pharmacies, you will not be able to get a license in this particular area. And actually the law went ahead to give them options. Either they are to move to underserved areas, or else they can apply that their business can become a pharmacy business if they meet all the requirements.
The move, according to the authority, is aimed at extending health services closer to those in rural areas.
So we are encouraging drug shop owners, because of the limited range of medicines that they can anyway offer under the law, to move out to areas where there are no pharmacies because there is a need, and then they can provide a service which is not there and that is required by the population.
The decision has called the operators unaware. In an attempt to seek their views about the directive on their businesses, many of them operating in the city suburb of Namuwongo declined to speak on camera. However, we were able to capture some of their views secretly.
Except what I heard, what they told us, like, if you are a midwife, you are not supposed to run a drug shop. Kati, if they tell me that now this is the last license, like we should go outside, because I'm very sure that this license is not going to operate in what it's not going to.
This directive will also apply to all municipalities. It's only pharmacies that will be allowed to operate in the city and municipalities.
Those are the ones which are within 1.5 kilometer from existing pharmacies. Those will be phased out, not only in Kampala, but also in other municipalities. But of course, we encourage them to move into those underserved areas where there are no pharmacies. Why do we do this? We do this because where the pharmacy is, it provides a comprehensive service and it talks all the classes of drugs from class A, B, and C. So when a pharmacy comes in, we do not need the drug shop. A drug shop is just a stopgap measure.
The authority will also give out incentives to pharmacies willing to operate in rural areas.
Charge more. We charge more, for example, in Kampala, you find you are charging, let's say, if you are charging 1 million as a fee, you'll find that if you go in other small areas, the fees are lower. So that one has encouraged it. Already there is a movement from the big cities and municipalities to small towns with some of these incentives that we are giving.
Following the public outcry from the cattle tick affected areas, the authority is advising cattle keepers to start using 3 lines of acaricides to kill ticks that have become resistant to the existing drugs.
Eprinomectin is an acaricide that has been authorized for use or recommended for use by the committee. We have Vectoclo and we have Bantic.
Jingo Francis, NTV.
Phasing out drug shops in Kampala. Now in studio I have Lukwago Muhammad, Manager Central Region, National Drug Authority. You're welcome, sir. And I have Monda Zaid, Manager Southeastern Region. For a moment I thought you were Indian. Your name is very exotic.
Maybe I'm transiting.
Well, we shall see about that. Now, I will start with Mr. Zaid. What is the law that you guys are now implementing?
We are implementing the National Drug Authority Act, Chapter 206. which establishes the National Drug Authority and gives it a mandate to regulate drugs in the country and to ensure that all Ugandans, including the animal population, access medicines at all times. The law provides for about 3 sets of licenses. One is for manufacturers, those who make the drugs people sell in the shops. Then we have pharmacies, which sell all drugs, including those that are sold in drug shops. And then licensed sellers or Class C drug outlets. These sell drugs that treat simple ailments that do not require prescription. So those are the 3 categories of licenses National Drug Authority issues to regulate medicines. So the law has been existing and National Drug Authority is implementing.
So you're just saying that this is the time we have to implement it. One would question themselves, and I would like to ask you, if the law existed, then why let the drug shops be open or licensed when the law is in existence? Now you're waking up and saying, we are going to close you. Why didn't you do that before?
I wouldn't say that we have not been implementing the law. We have been implementing the law. The law provides for drug shops as an interim measure. One thing you have to understand that for a pharmacy to be licensed, it requires a particular cadre who is called a pharmacist. In the recent history, the number of pharmacists in Uganda has been very small compared to the population. I think when the law came into force in 1993, there were less than 100 pharmacists in the country.
And now how many are they?
Currently, we are running about 1,800 or 2,000 pharmacists.
Only in Kampala?
Only in Uganda, not in Kampala.
Not in
alone.
Kampala, but...
So the number of pharmacists who supervise pharmacies have been small. As an interim measure, there were stopgap measures to ensure that people access medicines through these licensed sellers to sell simple medication that do not require prescriptions. That's how it has been. So when the numbers increase and pharmacies open up, areas get full access to medicines in all categories. Now, the interim measures that had been put in place come to dwindle because the pharmacies are there. And the law provides that a drug shop shall be licensed in areas where there are no pharmacies. And these areas where there are no pharmacies are considered areas of 1.5 kilometers away from where there is a pharmacy. That is considered an underserved area. So these drug shops were licensed before pharmacies came into place. Now, when pharmacies come into place, the drug shop is given time to either move away or upgrade to a pharmacy.
To a pharmacy.
Yes.
Coming to you, Mr. Lukwago, we talk about drug shops, pharmacies. What is the difference? How can I know? How can I know that this is a drug shop and this is a pharmacy?
Okay. At the time of licensing, we look at 3 major issues. Of course, there are a number of requirements, but we can put them in 3 categories. Number 1 is the premises, the nature of the premises, the size, and the suitability. And of course, the location, as it told you about the distances that are required between pharmacies and drug shops. Then we look at the staff, the technical staff. They must have a pharmacist for a pharmacy, as well as other technical personnel that will help the pharmacist.
You talk about facilities for drug shop and pharmacies.
That's
What's
right.
the difference? Should a drug shop be bigger? Should a pharmacy be smaller?
Well, naturally, a pharmacy is bigger than a drug shop because we require a minimum of 20 square meters of space, floor space within a pharmacy. While for drug shops, we require a minimum of 4 square meters. So a drug shop can have more than 4 square meters, but shouldn't have less. A pharmacy can have more than 20, but shouldn't have less than 20. So naturally, because of the 20 and 4, pharmacy will be bigger. But you could find drug shops that are bigger in size because of the nature of business they're running. And then in regard to the staff, for pharmacy, we require them to have a pharmacist. That's the minimum requirement. And the pharmacist can be helped by a lower cadre, a pharmacy technician or a nurse to run the technical services. While for a drug shop, we require a nurse or a pharmacy technician, or the paramedic cadres are enough to run the drug shop. So that's another difference. And then we look at the systems as well. The systems of purchase of medicine, the systems of storage, systems of handling and sale of medicines. We look at them as well. So there are a number of issues, but they all fall in those categories. And once we are satisfied with those requirements, we either issue a license or we deny the license. But the most important thing, like you said, is that the drug shop only stocks Class C medicines. And those are medicines for small ailments, which don't require prescription. While the pharmacy stocks more than what the drug shop stocks. In other words, all the medicines, Class A, B, and C.
So in a drug shop, you've said in a pharmacy, there has to be a pharmacist.
That's right.
Who has to be in a drug shop?
A drug shop, I talked about the paramedic cadres. The best that we want is a pharmacy technician. That is a diploma in pharmacy.
Okay.
And then we can have the nurses of different cadres and clinical officers and all those. They can work in a pharmacy,
All right.
whether in a drug shop. But for pharmacy, you must have a pharmacist.
Going back to you, Zaid, all these requirements are placed down. You should have this, you should have that. Are some of these drug shops that we have in Kampala that you are phasing out as National Drug Authority, do they have license?
Yes. Nobody is allowed to operate a drug shop or a pharmacy without a license.
So they were given licenses?
They were given licenses.
Even if they were against the law?
I wouldn't clearly say that they were against the law.
Yeah.
At the time they were established, they were not against the law.
But
now,
the law
pharmacies,
existed, Zaid.
yes, let me come to that.
Okay.
Pharmacies have been coming up in areas where drug shops have been. The onus was to make sure that after one calendar year of the opening of a pharmacy, the drug shop winds up or upgrades to a pharmacy. I must admit that we were a little bit relaxed on implementing that particular phasing out after opening of a pharmacy. But now the pharmacies are there. And we are
Probably
saying,
because of our standards of health were also low and we needed as much as we can, isn't it?
what do you mean you needed as much as you can?
Because now I think the health facilities are getting better.
Yes.
Probably there is need for these drug shops to move out of Kampala and go to these rural areas, as you put it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what we are doing. We are improving services and also improving access. When we were starting, I told you that drug shops are limited in stock. They don't stock all the necessary medicines. They only stock Class C, or medicines that do not require a prescription.
Class C.
Class C, provided in the law. So if there is a pharmacy which is stocking everything, there would be no need for somebody again to stay around with less stock
Instead
and
of,
providing fewer services.
Yes.
And also, as you listen to Mr. Lukwago, he's talked about personnel available in the pharmacy. You find that in a pharmacy, there are more cadres with more qualifications than those that are in a drug shop.
So I'm sick, I need some medicine. How do I tell that a drug shop or a pharmacy is actually licensed by National Drug Authority?
Yeah, every outlet that is licensed by National Drug Authority gets a license. And these licenses must be displayed prominently in the premises that have been licensed. That means they must be visible to the person who comes into the outlet. So the best way to identify is to look in the premises and see whether there is a license hanging out. Now, these licenses are different. For pharmacy, it tells you who has been licensed to supervise that outlet in terms of a pharmacist. Whereas for a drug shop, it tells you the person together with the picture of that person who is supervising that outlet. So when you come into the outlet, you look at the license. When you see a picture, that is an indication that this is a drug shop. Now, when you don't see a picture and you see the name, then it will indicate to you that this is a pharmacy. And also the license will clearly spell out whether it is a drug shop or
A
a
pharmacy.
pharmacy.
Now-
For a drug shop, it will clearly tell the person that this outlet has been licensed to sell Class C drugs, not A or B.
Now, for the benefit of our viewers, when you talk about Class C medicine, are we talking Panadol, this simple medicine? Because you might say Class C, and I do not understand what Class C or Class A or B.
According to the Act, drugs have been grouped depending on the level of specialization that is required to give it to a person to use or a patient. Now, Class A and Class B are drugs that require a medical officer to prescribe or to tell you that you should use this medicine. Whereas Class C are drugs that do not require a medical officer to tell you, but they are simple in nature to treat simple conditions,
Cough,
cough,
fever.
or a fever, or a cut, or simple ailments.
Simple ailments. Now, it's simply that we are running out of time, and I'll go to you, Lukwago, for a last word on our viewers on how to use drug shops or pharmacies.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to remind our users, our viewers, that whenever you want to get medicines, please go to a licensed outlet. Go to a pharmacy or go to a drug shop if the medicine is a Class C medicine. But if you have a prescription, please go to a pharmacy and get the medicines from a registered or licensed pharmacy. Not buy from hawkers, not buy from the street, not buy medicines from the bus. I know there are buses that are plying different routes where people are selling medicines. Please go to a licensed outlet and buy medicines from there. And if you have any problems or you suspect anybody to be selling medicines without a license, or there's any unprofessional business in a pharmacy or a drug shop, please reach us at our toll-free line 0800 101 999. Or you can reach out to any of the regional offices. We have 7 regional offices within the different regions in the east, southeast, the north, West Nile, Western and Southeastern region. We also have our offices at Lumumba Avenue, plot 19. So if you have any issues, please come to us. Or if you cannot reach us, please go to the next police station. They'll register the case and bring it to us.
All right.
But don't buy medicines from illegal outlets.
Well, as you seek to get or buy some drugs, make sure that you buy from a licensed drug shop or pharmacist. Now, stick around. We are having another interview on fertility in men and women. Good morning.